When it comes to CapCut, it's my primary video editor at this point. Yes, I use Descript for certain features that it has, like being able to edit by text. Great for my podcast. It's awesome for some of the stuff it does with videos, but it's not an all-around that I can use for everything. I've used Power Director. I have used Adobe Premiere. I have used Movavi, a whole bunch of other video editors. I have recently I have really tried to start using DaVinci, and I just can't do it. The learning curve is just too much. And every single time I try to start a project in DaVinci and say, okay, I'm going to make this work. I'm going to do this project. Every time I hit a speed bump, I'm going to work through it. I'll learn and I'll know more going forward. Every time I try, it just takes me forever to get through anything. I run into a major issue, whether it's a crash or a export and rendering doesn't work or something like that, or something that I think is a fairly simple feature. In order to do it in DaVinci, I have to go get some kind of plugin or add-on or something and figure out how to install that and import and apply and do all these, jumping through hoops that I can just do in CapCut with a couple of clicks. I'm throwing in the towel on that one. It's a great program. I don't doubt it one bit, but it is just way too much. I'm not trying to be a Hollywood film editor, and I'm not trying to spend 5 times as long editing a video while I try and learn on something that's going to take me a year or 2 to get any good at. So that one's kind of out for me at the moment. I don't have any problems with CapCut shutting down on me or crashing or flipping out. I've not had that happen once. I hope it never does. Something that I really appreciate in CapCut is that it is constantly auto-saving. If you look up in this left-hand corner, it'll say last saved and give you a time including the seconds, and it's always like, oh, it just saved. So it's constantly saving. I've never lost a single thing I've done in CapCut, and that is a huge plus. As far as being something that just works, CapCut just works. I gotta give it that. It just works. For all the problems I've had in every other video editing program, I don't have them here. Exporting is super fast in CapCut compared to pretty much every other video editor I've ever used. It's probably the fastest one I've ever used, and it doesn't make my computer start to spin and go like it's going to fly out the window or something. It doesn't seem to be using a whole bunch of resources. And even if I'm doing other stuff on my computer while it's exporting, it doesn't seem to be a problem. Everything just goes. There's a lot to like about CapCut, including its many, many, many features. It has lots of features that are helpful for just general editing, and then the AI features in CapCut are just over the top. When it comes to editing, I really like that it has keyframes, and keyframes that are available for so many different functions. Now, keyframes, if you're not familiar, is a way for you to tell the video editor that you want to mark a point in time in the video and have it look or sound or behave a certain way, and then mark another point in the same video clip, and at that point you want it to be something completely different, and then the video editor figures out the middle on its own. So it automatically changes from the first keyframe to the second keyframe. And this might seem pretty small, but I love this, and it saves me so much time. When you add text into CapCut, you put it on your timeline, it's in your video. It doesn't just show you a box down here that says text or a little T icon that says there's text there. It actually uses the text that you typed in and puts that as the label on the timeline. That is so helpful when I'm scrolling through and trying to find where I'm at, or I know I need to make a change at this certain place, and I can see exactly what text is there rather than just saying, oh, there's some text here and some text here and some text here, but I don't know which one's which. I can spot those right away without thinking about it and go right to where I need to be. Now, something that I never thought would be an issue for me, but it has become one, is that my mouse has not only a vertical but a horizontal scroll wheel. And I love it. It's gotten to the point where if a program doesn't let me use it, I'm pretty irritated. And video editors should all be able to use the horizontal scroll wheel. There's so many things that you're moving around and doing. It's a huge time saver. But some video editors don't. Your horizontal scroll wheel won't do a darn thing, and that drives me bananas. But not CapCut. I can scroll with my horizontal wheel all day long. Hey, me. As far as the AI features in CapCut, there are just so many and so many different things that you can do. For instance, auto captioning your video. You come up to text on the media panel, you click Auto Captions, pick your language, say Generate, and it will automatically generate the captions for the whole video. It transcribes the audio that it's picking up and then turns those into text for your captions. And it does a really good job of the transcription. It's way better than the transcription in some video editors. There may be others out there that are better, none that I've seen. Of course, you can edit the text however you want. They give you all these templates in here that you're sure to find something that you really like. Something else that blows my mind is that included in CapCut, you have script to video. No add-on product, no extra charge. You can just come in here. If you've got your script, you write it out, you pick your voiceover actor, and you hit go, and then CapCut assembles the video for you. It finds what it believes are relevant stock media clips and images. It creates the voiceover, it adds the background music, puts it all in your timeline ready to edit. Now, is this going to be something that's perfect and ready to publish? I doubt it, but my philosophy on it is if even half the images and videos that it finds are relevant and I still need to go find half, well, it's done half the work for me. So I call that a win. And if you want, CapCut's AI will write the script for you. You just pick your AI writer category here, fill in the blanks, tell it what you're looking for, hit the go button. It'll generate several versions of the script. You pick the one you like, and it'll create the voiceover, the background music, and select the clips for you. Again, you'll probably want to change some of those clips, but any of the work it does is less work that you've got to do. You've also got the video translator, which will take your video from the language that it's in and translate it. Now, there's only a few languages that it supports, Chinese, Japanese, and English, but the fact that this is a free tool included with CapCut is pretty awesome. Likewise, long video to shorts. For both the script to video and the long video to shorts, there are standalone platforms that all they do is generated long video split to shorts. That's all the platform does. Here you're getting those tools built right into CapCut. And when it's done doing its thing, you're in the CapCut video editor on your timeline in your workspace ready to make the tweaks you want to make. Rather than trying to fiddle with some new editing platform that maybe doesn't work the way you're used to or doesn't have all the features the CapCut does. You've also got text-to-speech. So this video here, I've already got captioned. I recorded it in my voice, but maybe I want to get rid of my voice. I don't like it. I want something more fun. Maybe I want to make this completely faceless and take my face out of here altogether. Now that I've got the captions, I can just come over to text-to-speech and pick a voice that I want the whole video to be read in, or parts of the video. And there's plenty of voices to pick from. You can even clone your own voice in CapCut. And of course, if you don't want to read the whole video out to get captions to then convert to another voice or back into your own voice, you've got some other options that you can use. You can upload a transcript file, or you can just type out text, or you just use the script to video option if you want to start from a blank script with no reading involved. I like that CapCut includes generative AI right here within the video platform. So when I'm in the stock materials, if I can't find exactly what I'm looking for, I can always come to AI generated and create something. Now, is this going to be on the level of Midjourney and Leonardo? No, absolutely not. But it's enough to fill in a lot of blanks and get you where you need to be and save time going to another program. And you have generative AI in CapCut for scripts, for text styles, for images, and stickers. And what's really cool about that is that the stickers generate with a transparent background. AI characters. You have a whole bunch of characters to pick from here. You can also select the voice that you want. And here's a quick example.
I don't exist in reality. I'm one of CapCut's AI characters. To put me in this video, Bob just picked me from the list of characters and then showed me what to say.
Something else that's a big win for me in CapCut is the background removal. Most video editors give you chroma key, where you can record on a green screen and then come in here and select the color of green and have it remove that and leave a blank background. More and more video editors are starting to include auto removal. My problem with them is they usually work one of two ways. Either you run the auto removal and it's a take it or leave it, no adjustments here. Either you like it or you don't. You can't tweak and get rid of that one little flicker of something that's still stuck up in the corner. You just have to either use it or don't use it. Others have some so-so adjustment capabilities. You know, you can apply a feather or maybe a blur or something around the edge. But in CapCut, if the auto removal doesn't nail it, and don't get me wrong, a lot of times it does, especially if the conditions are right. You're brightly lit so that what you want separated from the background is nice and clear. There's a nice line there. It does a great job. But when it doesn't work, and it doesn't always work, you've seen that in some of the videos that I've done, you have the custom removal option. And that allows you to go in and tell CapCut, this is what I want you to keep, and it uses some smart functionality to not go exactly pixel by pixel, but to figure out what you meant. And if it keeps too much, if it gets something that shouldn't be in there, you can go back with the smart eraser and say, no, take the chair out of there, but leave the shirt. And then you can go in with a hard eraser and specifically erase certain things. So you really can have background removal without a green screen in CapCut, which is not the case with many video editors. I love that they give me the option to get it right. Now, I've got some bones to pick with CapCut. It's not perfect. Nothing is. For a while, I was experiencing an issue where when I would go to preview, so say I've got this video down here where I'm talking, and then I would be down here in another clip, same video, but different clip. And what I was hearing on the voice down here was stuff that was said in the beginning. It was by the middle of the video when I would hit play and start to play through this, the sound, the words, the audio was from back here. So a couple different things that I did to address that. One is you can right click on the timeline and say render, and you can say render whole timeline. You can delete your rendering cache and then render the whole timeline again, and that updates the preview. And sometimes I would just shut the program down, restart it, and be good to go. So it was never that it was just a loss. It was more of a frustration that, okay, I need to close this thing down and restart it, which really is the easiest way that solved the problem. Now, I have not had that problem recently, knock wood. That was, happened to me over a period of, I don't know, maybe a month or so. And in the last few weeks, it's not happened. So maybe there was just some kind of bug that got fixed, or maybe my computer was being simple. I don't know. But I want to be honest and fair about what works and what doesn't. One thing that does absolutely bug me about CapCut is that I cannot change this track size. I edit a lot looking at the waveform. So I'm either cutting out some silences and I want to get them really specific, or I'm trying to find, big gaps where nothing was going on. And so I look at this waveform, and in CapCut, it's really, really, really tiny, at least for my eyes. It does not have the ability to increase track height anywhere. So that's kind of frustrating. One way you can work around that is that you can separate the audio out. So I can right click on this and I can say extract audio and put it down here. My audio track is a little bigger, but now I need to remember anything that I'm doing has to include both of these tracks, and that's not good. That's going to create me problems in the long run. So if I keep it together, really my only option here is to crank up this volume really, really high, and then remember at the end to go back and crank that down. At least now I can sort of see these better. Width-wise, I can zoom in. I don't like that I can't vertically zoom in on this stuff. There are some things in here in CapCut that are unclear. For instance, on many of the AI-generated things, it will tell me you have this many uses left, and I don't understand that even in the slightest. I'm a pro user, so I'm paying for a subscription, and I understand that some software has sort of a basic subscription, and then there's another level, or you have to buy AI services separately, but there's no indication of anywhere to do that in CapCut. When I go to like my subscription and manage and all that stuff, there's no place I see where it says, all right, you want to buy AI credits or what have you. So that's a little bit confusing to me. And another thing I don't like is there are no shapes. There are no shapes here anywhere. You have the stickers, you have the stock media, but you cannot get a simple shape that you can just say, I want a rectangle. And that rectangle, I can change the size of it. I can change the ratio of it so I can make it wider or shorter or taller or whatever. Not like a picture where it has to be, maintain the ratio. If I want to, change the dimensions of it, I want to add a stroke to it, a border around it, I want to drop a shadow off of it, and I want it to be this color or that color or add a gradient or whatever. That's not in CapCut. It's not a thing. CapCut does drop the ball sometimes in some ways that haven't been particularly important to me. For instance, if you watch the video where we generated the AI textiles, no, not textiles like clothing, but text styles, 2 words, like the style of text. It generated just fine, but then no matter what I did, it wouldn't add that to the timeline, and even when I restarted CapCut, it just pretended like we never generated those things. That was kind of weird. I've never had that happen on a critical feature that I needed. I personally probably would never use those AI text styles anyway, but if they're there, they should work. And I can't give you specifics, but I feel like there have been a few times where with the AI feature specifically, I'll click the generate button or the go button or whatever and just nothing happens. Again, I'm not bent out of shape about that because nothing there was critical. Mostly it was me just playing around with stuff I'll probably never use anyway. But again, it should work if it's there. Now overall, and you'll hear me say that I like CapCut because it just works. And it does. In all the ways that matter to me, it opens, it lets me import, edit my videos, never gets stuck, never loses my work. I'm able to get through my editing process and get it exported without banging my head on the desk. That's what I mean by it just works. I also wish CapCut wouldn't leave me with some surprises. For instance, the other day I was using, I can't remember if it was the normalized loudness or the enhanced voice, one of these 2 features, and so I selected the stuff that was on the timeline, I clicked whichever one it was, probably both of them, and one of these came up and said, hey, you can't use this on a clip that's longer than 15 minutes. I did have like a 27-minute clip in there or something, and some smaller ones. And it's okay with the total of all the clips being over 15 minutes or however long, but it won't process if there's a single clip in there that's over 15 minutes. That's fine, but you could tell me up here before I go selecting everything and clicking and whatnot. I can split that clip in 2 very easily, but give me a little warning, let me know, and I'll do it ahead of time. And I've run into a couple of other minor things that didn't really affect what I was doing at the time, but it's only in the middle of the process that you find out that there is some kind of limit. There was something that I encountered where I went to apply whatever it was. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it came up and said, for this to work, the clip has to be between 5 and 500 seconds. Tell me that before I select it, save me the trouble. I'm sure I'm missing both pros and cons here. I was trying to rack my brain and remember all the things that I've been really happy to see and all the things that have made me raise an eyebrow and go, come on, man. Hopefully, I've remembered enough to help you in your decision of whether CapCut is going to work for you or not. Now, some people have an issue with CapCut because it is owned by the parent company of TikTok, which is ByteDance. ByteDance owns CapCut and ByteDance owns TikTok. And that causes some problems for a lot of people over privacy concerns. If you're concerned about where the software comes from and who the owner is, no judgment, this just ain't the thing for you. That's fine. I have decided after doing my research that I'm willing to risk it. If you don't have CapCut yet, there's a link in the description. It is an affiliate link, which means I may receive a small commission if you end up purchasing something. You don't have to. Hey, go try the free. It might do everything you need. And I certainly appreciate it when folks do use my affiliate links. If you want to keep going exploring with me, watch this video right here.